Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So today we are going to start our next chapter in the series of Polity through MCQ series, and these MCQs are straight away based on the book M. Laxmikanth. Now today's chapter is going to be state legislature, and the way of teaching would be I would explain you all the important facts and concepts of this chapter, and then straight away we will move to the questions. Now, as the Constitution of India envisage a federal structure, we have seen that the parliament is there on the central level. Now, parliament has three parts: president, who is the head and is a part of parliament; second one is Lok Sabha; third one is Rajya Sabha. Similarly, the constitution envisages a state legislature in part 6 from article 168 to article 212 of the constitution, and this state legislature constitutes governor, as all the executive decisions of the states are taken on the name of governor. Then there is state legislative assemblies, and then there is state legislative council, and there is a star mark here. Why? Because the state legislative council is only there where it applies. It means that not all states have the state legislative council. So what does it mean? It means that presently in 225 this year, only 6 states have state legislative council. Now these states are Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, Bihar, and Uttar Pradesh. Prior, in around 2020, there were 7 states. West Bengal was also included, but they abolished their legislative council. So, to summarize this, you just need to know that the state legislature constitute governor, state legislative assembly, and state legislative council in these 6 states. If there is no state legislative council, then the state legislature constitutes governor and state legislative assembly. I hope these things are clear to you. Now, why there is star mark in the state legislative council? Because when I taught you the constitutional amendment chapter, then I told you the parliament has right to abolish or create the state legislative council. How the parliament can do so? The parliament can abolish a state legislative council only when a resolution has been passed by the respective state government, that the state, that is the state which want to abolish its legislative council, a resolution is passed by that state with a special majority. And what is a special majority? That is the majority of the total membership of the assembly and the majority of not less than 2/3 members present and voting. Okay, so the state government needs to pass a resolution with special majority, and then the parliament passes the resolution by simple majority, and the legislative council is abolished. Now, one thing to note here is neither the Rajya Sabha nor the Legislative Council is a subject to dissolution. What happens in Rajya Sabha is 1/3 members retire every second year, and we know that the Rajya Sabha is not a subject to dissolution. Similarly, the Legislative Council is also not subject to dissolution. However, the legislative council, the state legislative council, can be abolished. And how can it be abolished? I have already told you. Okay, so this is basic point that you need to know. Now the first point in the explanation part is the organization of state legislature. I have already told you about the state legislative assembly, then state legislative council, and how it can be abolished. So this is all the matter that is contained in the organization of the state legislature. Now let us see about the composition. What about the composition we will see of the assembly as well as the council. What about the assembly? So what is the strength of the maximum numbers? What can be the maximum number in the state legislative assembly? So maximum number of members can be 500, and if I talk about the minimum numbers of member, it can be 60. Okay, now what about the nominated members? So nominated members were there in the state legislative assembly as Anglo-Indians were appointed, but by the 104th Amendment Act, this provision was done away. Now what happened in 104th Amendment Act was President nominated 2 members to the Lok Sabha. Similarly, 1 member from Anglo-Indian community was appointed by the or nominated by the governor in the state legislative assembly, but it was done away, the provision was done away with in the 104th Amendment Act. Okay, now the next point is reservation of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Now the seats are reserved in the state legislative assemblies for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe on the basis of population. What about the strength of the state legislative council? So the members of the state legislative council are indirectly elected. This you need to know. The second point is maximum strength of the state legislative council is fixed at 1/3 of the total length of state legislative assembly. ठीक है, 1/3 is the maximum strength. And what is the minimum size? So the minimum size is 40 members. ठीक है. Now one thing here is to be noted that the constitution has fixed the maximum and the minimum limits. The actual strength of the council is fixed by the parliament. This is a very important point. ठीक है. The maximum and minimum strength of the council, that I have already told you, that is maximum strength is 1/3 of the members of the state legislative assembly, and the minimum strength is around 40 members. This is fixed by the constitution, but the actual strength of the state legislative council is fixed by the parliament. What is the manner of the election of the state members of the state legislative council? So first of all, 1/3 members are elected by the members of the local bodies in the state, like municipalities and district board, etc. Second is 1/12 of the members in the state legislative council are elected by the graduates of 3 years standing in the state. Next point is 1/3 members are elected by the state legislative assembly members, and then there are the nominated members. How much nominated members by governor are there in the state legislative council? Their number is 1/6. So this is all regarding the provisions as per to the manner of elections. Also the election, the members are elected indirectly, and the manner of election is the system of proportional representation by the means of single transferable vote. Okay. Now let us move to the next topic, that is the duration of the two houses. Now this applies at the same as I have already told you about the duration. What about the assembly? The normal tenure is 5 years, but the term of the assembly can be extended during a period of national emergency by a law of parliament for 1 year at a time, and subsequent renewal is needed every 6 months. And what about the council? The duration of council, I have already told you, the council is not a subject. The state legislative council is a permanent body, and it is not a subject to dissolution, but it is the manner of the retirement of the Rajya Sabha election, as it applies in the Rajya Sabha election, that 1/3 members retire every second year. That too applies here in the state legislative council. Now what about the membership? What are the qualifications? Now the qualifications must be the member, I am telling you about the membership of the state legislature. Okay, so what are the qualifications? He must be a citizen of India, he must subscribe an oath, he should not be less than 30 years of age in case of the legislative council, and 25 years of age in case of legislative assembly. The same applies in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha as well. Rajya Sabha ke liye age is 30 years and Lok Sabha ke liye it is 25 years. Okay. So the manner of disqualification is also mentioned. This is mentioned under Schedule 10, that is anti-defection law. The speaker is the authority to decide, and in case of the Representation of People Act 1951, some of the provision regarding disqualification are made. So the final authority in interpreting is president in this case. Okay. Now what about the oath and affirmations? The oath and affirmations of the ministers and the members are subscribed before the governor. So this is an easy one. I think आपको ये चीज़ समझ आ गई होगी. Next is about the vacation of seats. Double membership का क्या मतलब है? So the person cannot be members of the both house of the state legislature at one time. He may have to elect or select only one house, that is he can be a member of a state legislative assembly or a member of state legislative council, not both. Okay, then is disqualification. Two grounds of disqualification have already been mentioned. सबसे पहला तो 10th schedule के अंदर, that is defection law, anti defection law. The second one is representation of people act 1951. If a member is disqualified from either of this, he stands disqualified from the membership of the house. Okay, the next is about absence. Maximum tenure of absence is 60 days. If the members does not attend the meeting of the house 60 days, for the 60 days without informing the presiding officer, then he automatically, the seats become vacant. What about the presiding officers? Now there is speaker for the legislative assembly, ठीक है, and in case the speaker is not there, the deputy speaker chairs the legislative assembly. Also, the deputy speaker is not a subordinate post to the speaker. Whenever the office of the speaker falls vacant, the deputy speaker heads the legislative assembly, and all the powers which are given to the speaker are enjoyed by the deputy speaker when he performs functions during the when he performs function as the speaker of the legislative assembly. In case if the speaker or deputy speaker both are absent or from the house, then the governor may decide. Okay, now the various powers that I already explained in the parliament chapter. What were the powers of the speaker? सबसे पहला decide money bills. He takes decision on the matter of disqualifications of the members of assembly. All these decisions are taken by him. Okay, now I hope the same is as per the chairman of the council. As we have seen that this is the ex officio chairman. Speaker, the chairman of the Rajya Sabha is the the vice president of India is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Similarly, the chairman of the council is also there wherever it applies. Okay, now what about this to someone who summons the houses? So the governor summons the houses. See, I am doing this chapter in a very speedy manner. The reason is that कि parliament के chapter में I have explained each and every point with very minute details. So sir, same applies in this case also. So there is no need to just repeat the things that I have already taught. You can just refer to the parliament chapter before solving this chapter. These things will be very clear to you then. Who summons the house? It is the governor. Who adjourns the house? It is the speaker that adjourns the house. Who prorogues the house? Speaker prorogues the house. And who dissolves the house? It is the governor that dissolves the house. Okay, what is the quorum? Quorum is of the 10 members is the quorum for the state legislative assembly. Now, what is the legislative process? Ordinary bill, it has to be passed by special majority by both the houses, that is state legislative assembly and state legislative council. But the power regarding money bill, the state legislative assembly has exclusive powers regarding the money bill, as the state legislative council has no power. If the state legislative council, the only power that the state legislative council has regarding the money bill, that it can delay the money bill for a period of maximum 14 days. If the state legislative council refers the money bill to the state legislative assembly by advising any of the amendments, so the state legislative assembly may or may not accept those amendments, because it is not necessary for the state legislative assembly to accept that. So exclusive power regarding the money bill lies with the state legislative assembly. Okay, position of the legislative council I have already told you regarding the ordinary bill. If an ordinary bill is passed, so the same benefits and same powers, equal powers lies with the state legislative council. ठीक है. Now, let us now move to the question, and remaining things we will discuss in the questions only. Okay, the chapter will be complete then. Let's start with the questions now. The first question is, a bill pending in the legislature of a state shall not lapse by the reason of prorogation of the house or houses thereof. Now, in the parliament chapter also I have already told you, it is the effect of dissolution that the bills in the house get affected and not the prorogation. The prorogation is done by the speaker and it is later then notified by the governor of the state. Okay, so the prorogation has no effect as such on the bills, dissolution has. So the statement is correct because it is saying that the legislature, a bill pending in the legislature of the state shall not lapse by the reason of prorogation. So the statement is correct. Second is a bill pending in the legislative council of a state which has not been passed by the legislative assembly shall not lapse on dissolution. See, यहाँ पे dissolution आ गया. It means that anything that is related to dissolution, the bill is going to be get affected. Now what in this question it is trying to say that I already told you that I have explained you in the parliament chapter that whenever a bill touches the Lok Sabha or in this case the legislative assembly of the state, the bill is going to be dissolved. Now here a bill, it is pending in the legislative council and not been passed by the legislative assembly. It means that the bill has not even started yet. Okay, it is on the initial stages only. It has not been touched by the legislative assembly. So if the legislative assembly gets dissolved, then also the bill which would have it would have no consequence on the bills as it has not touched the legislative assembly. So the correct answer to this question would be both 1 and 2 is correct. Now the next question is, the parliament may by law provide for the abolition of the legislative council of a state having such council or for the creation of such council in a state having no such council. The statement is absolutely correct as the parliament can create or abolish the state legislative council by a simple majority. But prior to the simple majority, the concerned state which is going to create or abolish the legislative council must have passed a resolution that is needed to be passed by the special majority of the house. Okay, so first statement is correct. The total members on the legislative council of a state having such council shall not exceed the half of the total members in the state legislative assembly of the state. Now in the explanation part, I already told you the maximum number of the member in the state legislative council should not exceed 1/3 of the total members in the legislative assembly of that state, and the minimum number of members that are required is 40. So this provision is there as per the constitution, but the actual number of the members of the state legislative council is determined by the parliament. This I have also told you. Okay, so if you haven't watched the explanation part, do watch it and then these questions will be easy for you. Okay, so the second statement is absolutely incorrect. The first one is true, so only one is the correct answer. Next question is, the upper chamber of the state legislature, that is the state legislative council beside other members, consist of. Now I already told you the members of the state legislative council are indirectly elected, and what is the composition? That 1/3 of the members are elected by the members of the local bodies, may it be municipalities or a district board. Then I already told you 1/12 of the members are elected by the registered graduates. Then 1/12 members are elected by the teachers of teachers electorate. So the first option seems to be true, but beside these three options some more provisions are there that 1/6 of the members are going to be appointed as by the governor. ठीक है, so governor भी अगर कहीं पूछते हैं तो you should know that the governor can nominate 1/6 member. So correct answer is हमारा 3 का A. Now next is the quorum to hold the meeting of the house of the state legislature shall be, so the quorum should be minimum of 10 members or 1/10 of the total membership, whichever is more. So the 10 members or 1/10 of the total membership, whichever is more. So हमारा D is the correct answer. Next is a bill which if enacted and brought into operation would involve expenditure from the consolidated fund of a state must have been recommended by the governor to a house of the state legislature for the consideration of the bill. Yes, whenever an expenditure is charged on the consolidated fund of India, it is brought by the prior recommendation of the governor. The statement is true. Such a bill cannot be passed by the house without the recommendation of the governor for the consideration of the bill. This is the same as I explained in the finance bill 2. If you have watched the parliament chapter, the same provision was done by the president. The house can pass the bill only when the president recommends that bill to the house to pass it. Okay, if the president or the governor in this case will not pass the bill, then the house cannot pass that bill. Okay, so this is related to the finance bill, not ordinary bill. If you want more clarity on this topic, I would sincerely recommend you to first watch the parliament chapter and then solve this chapter. Most of the things will be clear for you now then. Okay, so A is the correct answer here. Let's now see the next question, that is question number 6. Question number 6 is, a bill is reserved by the governor of a state for the consideration of the president. Yes, article 200 of the constitution envisages it. So what can the president do? The president can give the assent to the bill, withhold the assent to the bill. ठीक है, veto the bill? No, the president does not have power to veto the bill regarding the state legislature. Okay, there is the case under article 200 when the governor, it is obligatory for the governor to save that bill for the advice of the president. The condition is that if the state government has brought a bill that is threatening the high court of the state, then it is obligatory for the governor to reserve that bill for the consideration of the president. Okay, so veto power does not lies with the president on for the bills of the state legislature. So 3 will be eliminated straight away. 1, 2 and 4 is the correct answer. Now the fourth option is, he can direct the governor of the state to return it for the house for reconsideration. Yes, the statement is true. Veto powers of there are no veto powers for the president with regards to the bills of the state legislative assembly. So 1, 2 and 4 is the correct answer here. Let's now move to the next question. Which one of the following state does not have Vidhan Parishad? Vidhan Parishad means the state legislative council. I told you abhi just ki 6 states in the year 2025, as of when I am recording this video, only 6 states have this state legislative council, such as Bihar, then there is UP, then there is Maharashtra, then there is Andhra Pradesh, then there is Telangana. Okay, so these states have the legislative council. I hope the clear. I think I have just told you 5. ठीक है, कौन सा हो गया हमारा? आंध्र प्रदेश हो गया, देन देयर इज तेलंगाना, बिहार, यूपी, महाराष्ट्र एंड देन 2, 3, 4, 5 एंड देन यस कर्नाटका. ठीक है, सो द क्वेश्चन इज आस्किंग विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेट डज नॉट हैव विधान परिषद. तो बिहार हैज इट, महाराष्ट्र एंड यूपी हैज इट, राजस्थान डज नॉट हैव अ legislative council. So C is the right answer here. Next is question number 8. Let's see. No discussion can take place in the legislature of a state with respect to the conduct of any judge of the Supreme Court as per the provisions of the Constitution of India. Yes, the statement is absolutely true. The conduct of the judges cannot be declared in the cannot be discussed in the parliament, and for the same, if the matter is related to the state legislature, the advice and whatever any of the minister of the member says in the house, it comes under the collective and individual privileges of the members of the state legislative assembly, that their conduct cannot be discussed outside or in any court of law. Next is next option हमारा, there is no restriction on discussion to take place in the legislature of a state with respect to the conduct of any judge as per the provision of constitution. There is no restriction. नहीं, यहाँ पे गलत है, there is a restriction. Second statement is wrong. Ultimately 1 and 3 statement is true. Okay, so 8 का C is right. A legislative assembly of a state can pass a resolution to abolish or create a legislative council in a state by, so special majority. What constitutes a special majority? I've already told you, majority of the total membership of the house by a majority of not less than 2/3 members present and voting. C option is the correct one. I've already explained this majority wala chapter in the amendment of the constitution. You can find that chapter in the playlist. Okay, so I've explained this special majority with details in that chapter. Now, a governor can withhold a non-money bill passed by the state legislature. Absolutely, एंड यहीं पे आप यू शुड नो दैट अ गवर्नर कैन नॉट withhold a money bill. Why? Because the money bill is introduced with the prior consent of the governor. Next is the governor empowered by Article 200 of the Constitution of India to do so. Yes, 200 के अंदर ही the governor can reserve some of the bills for the consideration of the president. So A is the correct answer here. Next is, what is the maximum permissible strength of the legislative assembly, that is Vidhan Sabha. Maximum number of members can be 500 and minimum can be 60, and this maximum and minimum numbers is propounded by the constitution only. Okay, so 11 ka C is right. Next is a reservation of a state bill for the assent of president is a discretionary power of the governor of the state. Absolutely correct. It is up to the discretion of the governor to reserve that bill or not. Also, some of the other matters in which the governor of the state has discretion. The first one is to appoint the CM when no clear party has majority in the house. Second one is dissolution of the Lok Sabha when the Council of Ministers fails to prove majority and fails to get the confidence of the house. So these are some of the cases where the governor of the states has discretionary powers. Second is the President of India is not empowered to keep a bill of the state legislature pending for an indefinite period of time without expressing his mind. So the statement is absolutely incorrect. Why? Because the President can keep a bill for indefinite period of time and this power is known as pocket veto. Okay, second one is incorrect. First one is true. Next question. By what time limit, what is the time limit within which a non-money bill has to be sent to the state legislature by the governor for reconsideration? So no time limit is specified for this. Okay, ordinary bill regarding the governor has power to hold that bill for a unlimited period of time, or no time has been specified for that purpose. Next is, which of the following is not correct with respect to the powers of the governor regarding a bill passed by a state legislature? He may give assent to the bill. Correct. He may withhold assent. Yes. He may reserve the bill for the consideration of president. Yes, this is mentioned in Article 200. He shall have no alternative but to give the assent to his bill. It is not compulsion. If the bill is a non-money bill, then the governor can hold up to an unlimited या indefinite period. So alternative तो का तो कोई बात ही नहीं है. ठीक है. He has alternative to just withhold the bill for indefinite period of time. There is no compulsion to give the assent. Okay, so with this we are done with the chapter of state legislature. So if you want to know the functioning of how the bills are passed, ordinary bill and all of that is discussed in the parliament chapter. So I would sincerely recommend you to first study this chapter, first solve the questions. Around 100 questions I have covered in this chapter, parliament ka chapter. So first do watch that parliament chapter. The link of that chapter I will give you in the description of this video only of the parliament. Otherwise the playlist is there on the channel. You can just visit the playlist and you can just study that chapter, but I would recommend you to first study that parliament chapter and then solve this chapter. It would be nothing for you then. This chapter is very easy as it is based on the parliament chapter. Okay, so thank you for watching. Do like this video if you love the content. Thank you.